These yahoos are completely idiots. You're going to attack the president over the national anthem, and you don't even want it sung. You don't even want to stand up and put your hands over your heart. And when you see him getting into it, oh, he's poking fun. He's poking fun of our soldiers. It's like you guys don't even want to recognize our soldiers. So why do you want to attack him? It's the contradictory. It is the contradiction, the idiocy, and the stupidity of the left. And Nancy, take that.
Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the magAMedia podcast. I'm here with Rob Harper at RobJH1 and Melissa at Lazy Meatball. Starting off, before the State of the Union, I'm not sure when you tuned in, Rob, but did you notice when Speaker Pelosi and Pence were side by side, they didn't seem to have much to say to each other?
Yeah, I noticed that. She was a bit of a chatterbox, and I kept wondering, what the heck is she talking about? This is a woman who wants to remove the president and Pence as well from office so that she could assume the top spot as being Madam President. Ain't going to happen, Nancy. So she just kept throughout the evening chattering. I'm like, what is she talking about? Like, Nancy, what are you talking about with all the white and the white makeup, pale makeup, the loud red lipstick? And I don't know if you noticed, she was still chewing her cud. Yum, yum, yum. Like, lady, get your false teeth fixed so you can stop moving like some nervous hack.
What were your guys' favorite moments of the night?
I think, for me personally, the recognition that he was given to all of the different people, mainly the minorities, that the left have been saying that the president is a racist. If he is a racist, he would not have recognized minorities that he recognized. And I was extremely shocked and put off with the fact that when he started talking about the successes, unemployment in the Black community, unemployment in the Hispanic community, unemployment with women, that the Democrats set on their tushes, would not stand up and they wouldn't even clap. And then when he mentioned the little Black girl who had been suffering in this horrible school, and that now she was going to get a scholarship to choose whatever school she wanted to go to, and Nancy Pelosi did not stand up and recognize that kid. And neither did anyone in the House on the Democrat side. I'm like, these are the people who've been saying that the president is a racist. They could not muster the ability to stand up and applaud this young girl. I'm like, are you serious? And then you're the first to run in front of a microphone and say the president is a racist. And I saw that lady, Val Deming, who's just been like all over the place trying to give some type of speech to impeach the president, sitting on her hands, as well as Hakeem Jeffries, Jerry Nadler, Adam Schiff. I'm like, these are the people that are telling us the president must be removed because he's doing a bad job. These are the people that are constantly saying the president is a racist. And they would not stand up and applaud this young girl. People, these are the people that we don't want in office, not now, not ever. They are fake.
Yes, it was a pathetic showing by the Democrats.
Absolutely pathetic.
Such a positive speech, and just the negativity that they brought to the night was just, unfortunate.
Right. It was extremely positive, and I flipped on CNN just to see what they were saying. They were saying, oh, it was a bipartisan speech, and he was giving red meat to his base. No, he was giving red meat to Americans, telling them about the accomplishments that he has accomplished within 3.5 years, whereas Obama had 8 years in office. What did he do? Did he give us prison reform? No. What did he give us? He gave us high health insurance. He gave us ISIS and a lot of criminality in the country, hating police. That's what Obama gave us. Yeah, he was the first Black president. But it has to be more than being just the first Black president. What did you accomplish within your 8 years? Nothing. Whereas Donald Trump, I mean, he's making America great again. And that's what we want.
America heard it tonight, for sure, what President Trump has gotten done. The news media has covered none of that. A lot of Americans probably were hearing all of President Trump's accomplishments for the first time since last year's State of the Union. Yeah, it was great to see how much Rush really appreciated it. You could see it on his face. And that's another thing. The Democrats could not even cheer or clap for a man that has got late lung cancer. He's at the late stages of lung cancer, and they could not even cheer the man as President Trump is rewarding him a medal. That was another pathetic moment for the Democrats.
I mean, they are a bunch of pathetic people, miserable people who can't get an election right. They can't get the Iowa caucuses. They can't even cheat right. I mean, they fell at cheating. Okay, and now come the State of the Union, they're all mad, disembobulated. They're mad because they can't get it right. They're just mad. They're mad. They're a bunch of mad people because they're flunkies. They're zeros. They're nobodies. And people have got to wake up and realize that we don't need them in office. Yeah, a bunch of losers. Yeah, absolutely. A bunch of losers.
Make no mistake, President Trump gave the State of the Union at the perfect timing. Last night, the Iowa caucuses were a disaster. Tonight is President Trump's epic State of the Union address. Tomorrow, President Trump's going to be acquitted from the fake impeachment. What a week for President Trump. He gave this State of the Union address at the perfect time, and such a bad week for leftists.
Yeah, it was the best State of the Union address that I've ever heard because he touched on so many topics. And I don't care if you're on the left, the right, upside, downside, no matter. He really gave a fantastic speech. And he touched on so many powerful topics. And when he was coming to the end and he started talking about the death of the ISIS and all those people that we had killed and how the Democrats, they were like, almost like teary-eyed when it was announced that these guys, these butchers, these mean men were killed. I'm like, are you serious? Who knows what's going on in their evil, demented minds? I mean, throughout the State of the Union speech, just watching Nancy Pelosi and the facial expressions that she was giving, and I'm like, lady, come on! Like, what is your problem? You guys lost. You lost big in 2016. You lost with the Mueller report. You're going to lose with this whole charade of impeaching the president. And although she's saying, well, it doesn't matter because he'll be impeached for life. Well, I got news for you. Impeachment is the new black or the new orange. The next Democrat president we have, the person will be impeached thanks to the Democrats. You guys have now put this into our lexicon, and it will always be there. And you can't be a president unless you've been impeached. So get used to it. This is a new day and age. So when I hear that the president has been impeached, to me, it's just a battle scar that he'll have, but he'll be able to wear triumphantly because he knows that he was not removed from office. It was a bunch of yah-yah over nothing because these guys have set these new crazy standards. So let's just look forward to it. So I don't care how many times she's saying, well, he's been impeached for life and trying to make it seem as if though it's something bad and negative. No, it's a battle scar that he should be proud of because this president is winning without a doubt.
Rob, you've watched a lot of State of the Unions in your life. I heard tonight sometimes the Democrats would audibly boo President Trump. They would make the nastiest facial expressions. We've seen Speaker Pelosi's actions all night long. Have you ever seen anything like that from an opposing party at a State of the Union address?
Not at all. Not at all. I've never seen this. I was surprised. I was shocked. And then I heard that some of the senators and representatives on the Democratic side didn't appear at the State of the Union. I'm like, who cares? They won't be missed.
I seen Rashida Tlaib and several others. They walked out in the middle of the State of the Union address. They didn't even stay for the full thing.
It was probably for the best. They don't need to be taking up valuable oxygen or valuable space that we breathe. They might as well just walk out. Hopefully this will be the last State of the Union that they attend because November, hopefully they will be voted out and we won't have to see them anymore unless they appear on fake news CNN or PMS NBC to spew their hate. But I hope we get them out of Congress. And this should be a lesson to people. Never let dogs in your house, because when you do, especially dirty dogs. Now, good, there are other dogs, they're nice. Well, no, let me take that back, because I love dogs, okay? Never let a snake in your house, because when you let a snake in your house, it will slither up under your bed, slither up under your couches, and it's difficult to get those little creatures out of there. So once you see a snake coming your way, shut the door, get your gun, get the axe, and chop it up at the head. I'm not saying to chop these people off with their heads, okay? I'm not saying that, folks. I mean, come on. But, figuratively speaking, don't let them in. So hopefully they'll be kicked out of office come November.
Yes. We also seen President Trump. He talked about how important it is that we finish the border wall. He actually spent quite a bit of time talking about immigration. He even went back to it a couple times after venturing off to other subjects. I really appreciated how President Trump is still continuing to keep his promises, and the wall is going up, and the numbers are proving how much safer it is with the wall.
Yep. Absolutely. We need the wall. When Obama was in office, he spoke about border security, immigration. Bill Clinton did the same thing, as well as Hillary Clinton. But once they realized and figured out that, wait a minute, these are potential votes that we could get these people to vote, they decided, forget about the wall. Let's let them all come in. Well, no, it's not. That's not the way it works. We're a nation of laws, and they should have to get in line just like everyone else. Stand in line and wait your turn. Yeah, the Democrats are the party of the lawlessness. They don't care about laws. If you create a law, they try to break the law. I mean, and it's evident with this whole impeachment thing. For the last 3 years, the Democrats have been nothing but obstructionists. And if we had a legitimate media, they would call them out on it. They would call them out and say, hey, you don't have to like this president, but your actions have been nothing but lawless. As simple as that. They try to tell us what the law is while they're breaking the law, because everyone knows, without a doubt, in order to come to America, you have to follow our laws. You just can't rush across our borders and then immediately go to social services and says, hey, I need help. Why do you need help? I can't get a job. I can't feed my kids. Well, you should have stayed in your own country. It's not our responsibility to take care of you. I can't leave the United States and then run to Mexico and say, hey, I want you to take care of me because I don't have a job. No, it's not going to work. They're going to send me back. So why is it that we have to receive these people in?
Did you guys see in the State of the... Sorry to cut you off, Rob. Did you see in the State of the Union where President Trump specifically addressed California and sanctuary cities and how much of a disaster they are? And Speaker Pelosi looked like she was going to have a heart attack back there.
Right.
She did not like that.
Well, and the fact that they're now passing a law, there's one representative, he said that whereby you can sue sanctuary cities. I mean, to me, that's huge, because you have a lot of these sanctuary cities that are harboring these illegal aliens who are breaking the law, and they're killing people, and people are losing their loved ones. And it's not fair. It is not fair. If I'm paying my taxes, if I am obeying the law, and if I do something wrong, I'm going to get thrown in jail. But you allow these illegal aliens to come here, commit crimes, and then there's no recourse. They don't have to answer to their actions. It's just not fair. I mean, and people will say, well, you're not being sympathetic, and you're being a racist, and you're not being this, and you're not being that. It's like, wait a minute. I'm a law-abiding citizen. If I break the law, there's punishment. When illegal aliens break the law, it's like we want to protect them. Protect them from what? The law says you can't do certain things. Clearly, you broke the law when you came over here illegally. There's no incentive at all for them to show up. They'd rather stay on the outside and get lost in the crowd and then continue doing what they're doing. This has to stop, okay? And President Trump is the president to make it stop. It's plain and simple.
After President Trump finished, Speaker Pelosi made a big show of it and as Rob's doing, ripped up the script, which caused a huge reaction on Twitter. And right now, I'll read you what the White House's reaction was. They said, Speaker Pelosi just ripped up one of our last surviving Tuskegee airmen. The survival of a child born at 21 weeks. The mourning families of Rocky Jones and Kayla Mueller. A service member's reunion with his family. That is Speaker Pelosi's legacy. That's the statement that the White House released. And I think that is well put.
And the media, the liberal media, would try to cover for her and will say, well, she was in her rights. No, she wasn't. She should not have done that. She's the Speaker of the House. She should be above all of this pettiness. But now we see that she isn't. As I wrote on an article for magAMedia, I said that, they have her by the heels. These radicals, and they're telling her, turn this way, turn that way, and she's turning whichever way they turn her. For her to stand on the stage and to do that, we have kids that were probably watching it. So she's demonstrating and showing that she is a sore loser. She loses poorly.
So childish.
I mean, it's like, how could you? And then someone asked her, they said, why did you do it? And she said something about, that was the least she could do, or she gave some crazy excuse as to why she behaved the way she did. And I'm like, lady, you don't have a clue. And you're white, and there's nothing pure about her, unfortunately. So I don't know what type of symbol she was trying to represent. But to tear the speech up, knowing that the cameras were on her, completely disrespectful, uncouth, ungraceful, and unsophisticated. So when they say that she's a badass, no, she's a sorry ass. She's a loser ass. She is a pathetic woman. And I hope she loses the speakership. She should. Because what she's done, the way she has led the House members to impeach the president over what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But out of envy and hate. The hate in her heart. So when she says, she was brought up to be religious, she was brought up to forgive, and blah, 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 it's all talk.
She actually tried stating that she ripped it up. I don't know if this was a joke or not, but she said she ripped it up because it was better than the alternative of what she was going to do with the script. I was thinking, what's she talking about? Was she going to wipe her ass with it? Or
I was going to say, right.
What's the alternative? You know what I mean? We had the Iowa Caucuses, which has been a lot of hilarity if you've been following it all on social media. You've had the Bernie supporters for weeks telling everybody that would listen that Bernie is going to run away with Iowa.
Yeah.
Well, last night, the results were still not in, and Mayor Pete Buttigieg came out and declared himself the winner. And all morning long, Cheat the Pete was trending. The Bernie fans were not happy that Mayor Pete claimed he won. They claimed that Mayor Pete lied. And now today it looks like Mayor Pete won Iowa.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mayor Pete won. And this is a huge embarrassment for Joe Biden.
Oh my God! What was it, fourth or fifth place? Him and Klobuchar were neck and neck.
Right. That's a huge embarrassment. Now I know that the pundits are saying, "Well, this will be the only race that Pete Buttigieg will win." That's fine, but the fact that the VP could not pull this off is embarrassing. It's an embarrassment. If I were him, I would just get out of the race. But he's not going to get out. He's going to wait until South Carolina to see if he gets any of the black vote. And if I was a black person there, I would run for the hills. He is an embarrassment with his plugs, his fake facial features. He's got Botox and all this other stuff. Joe should just stop while he's ahead. It's very scary. I don't think that, I heard about Pete's ground game and that it was really solid. But I think also what a lot of the pundits and the media failed to realize and give credit to the fact that Donald Trump won his caucus hands down. A very strong showing. And I know that some of them are saying, oh, well, Bloomberg won. Bloomberg is trying to buy the election. Anyone that's voting for Bloomberg, he's probably promising to put $100 in the mail to them. Bloomberg, he was a good mayor. He was an okay mayor, but he's not cut out for this. Okay. I'm going to start calling him Box Man. Box Man is not cut out for this. Okay. Although he wants a box to stand on and they're trying to defend him. Well, there's nothing wrong with him to stand on the box. No, there's something wrong with it. Okay.
Mini Mike.
Mini Mike. Right. Mini Mike is trying to buy the election with all his billions, and people should be upset about that. And if it were any other person, they would be. If it were Donald Trump trying to spend money, they would lambaste him. But because it's Mini Mike, and they're thinking, this is my take on it. So Mayor Pete is going to win Iowa. He probably won't win anything else. But if he manages an upset in New Hampshire and possibly the Carolinas, which is doubtful, the media will immediately start to back him over all the other candidates. I think that's what will happen. If he's able to do New Hampshire, and then, which I doubt he'll be able to, because Bernie will probably win because he's from New Hampshire. But if he's able to do a strong showing in South Carolina against Biden, the media, without a doubt, will anoint him as being the candidate.
Having seen Mayor Pete, I don't want to sound like I'm endorsing the guy. I don't like any of his policies, but when you compare him to someone like Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden, I mean, Pete just seems like a much better politician. He's sharper.
Yep.
Just seems like he's younger. Seems like he would get the base a lot more excited than either Bernie.
Yeah, he would. And I think the same thing, Andy. I think he would incite the base because he's young.
He's gay.
Right. That's the other thing he has going for him. He'll have the entire ABCDEFG community supporting him, which I think is what they're doing now. But I think that if he's able to pull off the next couple elections, then the media will get on board. Until such time, I think they're still hedging their bets. They don't like Biden. They don't like Bernie because he's a socialist. Amy, they're like, maybe she can make maybe a vice president. Pocahontas, forget it. So I think in the shadows, I think they're looking at Mike Bloomberg because he has the money to buy the election, which is what he'll do. And I think he'll try to buy the Electoral College. So we've got to keep an eye on that because I don't trust the Democrats at all. I don't trust them. And I think that if they see any opening for them to cheat, although they tried to cheat in Iowa and it was a disaster, they will try to cheat. So I think that's what we've got to look out for as to how these players are stacking up in the next couple of elections, because I do believe that the media will try to bolster a candidate to get them over the top and support them. Whereas poor Bernie, they're going to steal it from him again. And they were talking, they were saying that when they were doing the caucusing, because you can literally see it, they said that there was no one caucusing for Joe Biden. You had some people, more people for Buttigieg caucusing for him, but that Bernie Sanders really did have huge numbers. So I think that all this malfunctioning of the phone app didn't work, this didn't work, I think it's a ruse. I think that they knew that Biden was not going to win. And I think that had he managed to get more than 16%, they would have probably tried to fudge the numbers. But because it was evident that he was not going to even get there, I mean, they had no choice to say, okay, right now it's either Bernie or Buttigieg. And I think that Bernie probably bested him a little bit, but they probably just put him out there so they could seem as if though they're like forward thinkers or whatnot. But in any event, it was a disaster. It was a complete disaster. They lost control of it. And I saw clips on TV. I'm going to put it on Twitter, whereby you had all these liberal pundits, now saying that, Iowa is racist because 99% of the people there are white. And so what? Are you saying that their votes don't count? The United States is 12% black. Iowa is 4% black. And that is the reason why they want to bring in more illegal aliens so they can outnumber the whites that are here.
It's all about changing the demographics.
Absolutely. That's what they want to do. It doesn't matter if these people will come here and be a burden on society, be a burden on the government. They don't care. They're hoping that if we bring them here, they'll be dependent upon the government. Hence, they'll be dependent upon the Democrats. The sad thing about it is that you have people that are leaving states like New York. They completely messed it up, and like California. So they'll leave here and then they'll go to red states and then bring their liberal ideas. Well, we don't like the way this is, so let's change it. So wherever they go, they crap, make a mess, and then they walk away. And the thing that I try to point out to black people is that look at what's happening. They're leaving you behind in these crappy cities. They're telling you it's okay to live this way. They're telling you it's okay to bring in buttloads of illegal aliens and put them in your community, but they don't live in those communities. And then they have the wherewithal to move and leave those communities, whereas you don't. So your communities are dragged down. Your housing prices are pulled down while they're leaving. So I'm like, you got to wake up, folks. You got to wake up and stop voting with your emotions. Vote with your purse. Vote with your pocketbook. Vote with the issues that are going to help you, and tell the Democrats, hey, you haven't helped us. You haven't done anything but you've kept us down on this mental slave plantation while you're sitting there leaving and telling us, let this happen. It just doesn't work. It will not work.
Absolutely. For anyone that wants to tell you that Bernie supporters are more enthusiastic than President Trump supporters, just tell them to head over to magAMedia.org. Last week we attended the Trump rally, and then the next night we attended a Bernie Sanders rally, and we compared the lines. We showed up at the Trump rally at 9:30 a.m., and there were already thousands of people in line waiting to see President Trump. We showed up for a 6 o'clock Bernie Sanders rally at 1 o'clock. We were the first people out of our car.
To me, it just amazes me how these people enter into the White House on the Hill broke, and then they come out as being millionaires. Right? People have got to look at this. People have got to, you've got to wake up. You got to wake up and realize that, maybe one day the Democratic Party might get it together, but right now they just don't have it together. They're all talk about identity politics, and then they run these old white men for office, and they say that, we want minorities. Oh, look at the stage. We have the rainbow color. But then in the end, they only have one color, old white men, whom they've been, saying are bad people for the longest. But these are the people that they have running out there. Then you have this other old white woman who's benefited from saying that she was an Indian, a minority, to get all these different jobs, and only to find out that in actuality she's actually another white woman. Oh my God! The people that the liberals hate. It's unbelievable.
Speaking of which, Rob, tomorrow we are set to have President Trump acquitted. That news came out over the weekend.
Yes.
Susan Collins and Mitt Romney ended up being the only Republicans to want to see more witnesses. Lamar Alexander and Lisa Murkowski, both, I guess, better late than never, finally came around and voted against witnesses, killing Nancy Pelosi's impeachment sham dead.
Yep.
Tomorrow it will be dead. Are you surprised, Rob? Did you think that? Were you at all nervous that we might see John Bolton and some of these other witnesses, Munchin, and that the Democrats were demanding?
Well, I did a tweet after seeing a headline. I think it was a Washington Post saying that they were going to vote for witnesses, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" And needless to say, that it was a Washington Post being fake news. They were talking about it, but it wasn't going to happen. I will say this, yes, he will be acquitted tomorrow. He better be acquitted tomorrow. Better not have any senators to change their minds. But I am shocked that he wasn't acquitted today, or at least before the State of the Union. The senators decided to take a break on Saturday and on Sunday and start back up again today. I wanted him to have a clean slate so that he could go in more powerful tonight than he was already. It doesn't take long. We know where this was going to end all along, with an acquittal. But I think that Jerry Nadler and Adam Schiff were doing their best to muddy the waters, and Val Demings doing their best to muddy the waters and just throw everything at the president, all kinds of foul stuff that didn't make any sense, to prolong this protracted process. And it's almost like I've never had my wisdom tooth pulled, but I've heard that it's a very laborious process and it's very painful. And I think that's what they wanted to put us through, this painful process, and constantly dirtying up the waters and constantly having these, we got your moments. As for John Bolton, the proof is in the pudding. I don't care what he has written about. The fact that there is a videotape of him saying that the president's meeting with the Ukraine president was good, there was nothing nefarious, that says it all. It's squashed. Sign, seal, put the bow on it, and deliver it. So he can write whatever fantasy he wants to write to sell books and to get money. I would always refer people back to that videotape, which is what I will constantly do on Twitter. Not only that, but he was also interviewed by Judge Napolitano. And in the interview, he said almost that he would lie if need be. So again, is he lying in the book, or was he lying when he was talking to Judge Napolitano? You decide. But I put both video clips on Twitter because I wanted people to see it. These are things that the media won't show you. Okay. And I think that people have a right to know. It's a complete scam. And I hear Susan Collins going to her. She said, well, the Democrats made their case. No, they did not make their case. Okay. On the two articles that they were trying to impeach the president on, they did not make their case. What they did is that they lied. They didn't even touch the case, and they couldn't make the case because they knew that it had no foundation. You can't obstruct Congress. Are you crazy? That's ridiculous. They should have just threw that out. You can't obstruct Congress. The only thing Congress needed to do was to go before the courts and say, hey, compel them to testify. They could have very easily got more witnesses. So when I hear people saying, oh, well, we need to see witnesses, or Nancy Pelosi, well, it's not an acquittal, it's not a trial if you don't hear witnesses. Are you serious? Do you think people were born yesterday? Well, yes, some Democrats are just that naive and that stupid that they will believe her. And yes, I did say stupid. They will believe what she's saying. Okay. You don't have witnesses when it reaches the Senate. Now, I know some people say, well, back in the day, they had Bill Clinton's trial. They had witnesses. Okay, but that was a different matter. Bill Clinton actually committed perjury. Donald Trump didn't do anything. So everything that we're going through were trumped up charges designed to overthrow the government. So Susan Collins saying that she wanted to hear witnesses, I don't know if she was saying it to protect her own skin in Massachusetts, in Maine, or wherever Maine. I don't know if she was saying it just for them. Mitt Romney, we know he was just saying it because he hates the president. Mitt, you will never be president, okay? Never. Hopefully, you'll get kicked out of your senateship from Utah, but you'll never be president. Never, ever, ever, never in this lifetime. Maybe president at home, maybe president of the Mitt Romney Book Club, but as far as president of the United States, you will never, ever, ever be president. Okay, Susan Collins, it took you some time, but you came around. But I don't like those kind of games because you should have come out from day one and said, no witnesses. Why do we need witnesses? But see, she said it because she knew there weren't going to be witnesses. So she's looking at, what do I have to lose? I was just saying to make people happy. No, I'm sorry. I'm tired of these Republicans that don't have a strong backbone. Mm-hmm. It's time to push back and let these people know, look, this entire thing was a sham. You can't obstruct Congress. He didn't do anything. There were no high crimes and misdemeanors. And Alan Dershowitz said it so eloquently, as well as John Turley. So this whole hoorah that we were going through was for nothing. Absolutely nothing. So he will be acquitted tomorrow. The sooner, the better. He should take a victory dance. I know they won't like it. But then after it's over, now we need to start focusing in on the real crime that was committed. I know that A.G. Barr has been really quiet lately, he and John Durham, but I need for them to come out guns a-blazing. Now, I say that that's what I want. I know they're going to do things within the law, but we need to bring this up as soon as possible because there are a lot of people out there that need to face justice.
Absolutely, Rob. Just like the Kavanaugh hearings, the left's constant being in the Senate and the House, it actually backfired, I believe. We've seen a lot of stars from the GOP, Elise Stefanik. Doug Collins did a great job in the House.
True patriots, yes.
And then President Trump's legal team did a spectacular job. Alan Dershowitz. Right. Pam Bondi is a future superstar. She did an unbelievable job.
Right.
All of them did such a great job. I think it will end up backfiring on the Democrats, and
it should, and rightfully so. It should backfire, and it should backfire in the worst way possible.
It's
for them
almost
putting
just
us
as
through
important
this.
this year to take back the House as it is for President Trump to win the
Absolutely.
election.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we are winding down on time. We appreciate you listening. Thanks a lot, Rob. Thanks a lot, Melissa.
Yes.
It was a fun episode. We were very fired up post State of the Union.
Oh, wait. There's one more thing I want to say before we go about the Super Bowl. Super Bowl. A lot of people were attacking the president on two things. They said that he got the state wrong. He said Kansas City was in Kansas is actually
he said Kansas originally, and the
right. It's in Missouri. So they attacked him over that. And of course, I pulled the tape, and we had Barack Obama saying that there were 57 states, and there are actually 50 states. It's like, are you serious? He also said that Hawaii was in Asia, and it's not. So I'm like, folks, come on, get a life. And then the latest thing,
he visited all 57 states except Alaska and Hawaii. Right?
It's like, are you serious? And then the last thing that came out, a tape of when they were singing, I think, the Star Spangled Banner, and the president was doing his hands like this as if though he was conducting a symphony, and the Democrats were saying, oh, how dare he, he's making fun. I'm thinking, wait a minute, time out. You people are the ones who want people to kneel during the national anthem. You people don't believe in God. You people don't want to stand up, Beyonce and Jay-Z, and you're going to attack the president? I'm like, are you for real? I mean, these yahoos are completely idiots. You're going to attack the president over the national anthem, and you don't even want it sung. You don't even want to stand up and put your hands over your heart. And when you see him getting into it, oh, he's poking fun. He's poking fun of our soldiers. It's like, you guys don't even want to recognize our soldiers. So why do you want to attack him? It's the contradictory. It is the contradiction, the idiocy, and the stupidity of the left. And the audacity for these people to try to call the president out. I'm like, are you for real? Ah, gosh.
Great note to end on there, Rob.
Yes. God bless America.
And
get out and vote.
Real quick, we interviewed a bunch of people at the Trump rally in Iowa. We interviewed some people at the Bernie Sanders rally. We'll have that on the website sometime this week. Be looking for that exclusive footage. Thanks a lot, guys.
And Nancy,
together, we will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again. together, we will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we